Hi, this is Megan from Pro Stitcher, and I'm going to do a few tips on how to align a hard to advance or see row to row quilt using quilt space and trying not to make it as difficult as it can be. Okay, this is a design called Raindrops. It's a fabulous design, but it's hard to see what each row is. Um, the rows right in here, they stop kind of right here. So you can kind of see what a row looks like. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a quilt space. Now I've got, I'm on my laptop, therefore I'm on a simulator. And I'm going to go to area. And I'm going to move my crosshairs up to my back bar, like touch my back bar and come back quarter of an inch, maybe half an inch. If you have a really big quilt, you're going to want to come back a little farther forward. You can always redo it in the middle of your quilt if you need to. Anyway, I'm going to hit quilt space. That was a dong. An area is more of a ding. So this is kind of a deeper note or sound. Okay. Because I'm on my laptop, I'm going to hit the word measure so I get the area right. I have a Forte. I did this design on a Forte. And so my quilting space is in the 18-inch range. So I'm just looking at that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit quilt space again. Now, quilt space may be on your two-corner quilt space may be on the right side, depending on what version. I have one of the newest beta versions, and so quilt space, you just hit it once and it makes a point. You hit it another time and it hits a point. And so you know by the dong, okay? And my design, I'm going to go ahead, let's select it. And I can do the first row. It ends, let's see if I can hit quilt space. This is a refresh to quilt space right here. I'm going to go ahead, just zoom in just a little bit. I don't need measure anymore. I'm going to go ahead and I'm looking and I'm seeing where the row ends. Now, it's important to kind of know what that row looks like. It's these nice scallops, a big one and a small one, okay? You kind of have to get to know what that end is so you kind of see what it looks like, okay? So I'm going to quilt the first row, okay? And then, yes, I know my start point is wrong. Sometimes on the simulator it does weird things. It's a fine and normal, I don't know. It's not a problem for me. The design saves as it should. Once I've done that, I'm going to put my machine in order to advance. I know that the highest point of my design is on this scoop right here. So we've got right here to here. Generally, I can drag and drop from the right side of my quilt, but if you, depending on where it stops on the design and where you've cropped it, you might have to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and move my machine to the top of that scoop there. Right there. And just drop my needle and go ahead and hit drag. And then I'm going to move my everything up, my design up, almost to where it touches the back bar. Almost, not quite. I don't want to touch the back bar. And I'm going to look and see that this big scoop, and then it's got like 2 half scoops below it, and then there's a spot here. So that one I can do before my quilt space. But the one I want to worry about are these 2 end points. And I have enough room to quilt them above here. And so this is the highest point of what I've already quilted. And I have plenty of room to quilt this whole row. And the low points are these 2 around here, around these scoops. Okay, so you kind of have to get to know what that design looks like. And then you can go ahead and hit drop. Make sure you baste down your sides before you go to the next row. If you're unsure, let's go ahead and hit my house, that the next row is going to fit, I'm going to go ahead and hit Pro Stitch or New Start End, and I'm going to go up several jumps, well, maybe down to this one here, and hit Modify, Crop, Start End. Oops. Undo. Let's try that again. Pro Stitch or New Start End. You can have the top one up here. Actually, let's just crop to that row and go to Modify, Crop, Start End. So now you can see that that row can fit within the confines of my quilting space.